There's a dead skunk on the side of the road up here. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that too. It's gonna make a great thumbnail. I can't believe we're gonna do this. I think I counted 4 camps. Normally there's probably 5 or 6, so a little bit less than normal, but that's all right. Hopefully they'll move them around a little bit and push them my way. There, now I know I've accomplished at least one thing for my day. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to deer camp. We're up in the north woods of Minnesota at my off-grid cabin, and River says he's going to get a dirty pointer today. I don't know about that. Even a doe would be nice. We haven't harvested a deer up here in 2 years, so it would be really nice to get some meat for the freezer. We're going to see what we can do. I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but I do like a mocha latte. I drink the heck out of them. I did add a little bit of real coffee to this. Otherwise, it's pretty much just cocoa. Good morning and welcome to deer camp. It's about 20 degrees out there this morning, so it's nice and brisk. Today, I have the old RD with me, River Dog. We're going to leave him in the cabin, and hopefully he'll be okay and he won't freak out thinking that I left without him. The nice thing is my stand is maybe 100 yards from the cabin here. And after about 2 hours of sitting in the cold, usually about 10 o'clock, I usually will come in, take a break. So it won't be very long and I'll be able to check on him, and hopefully he's just taking a big nap. Well, it's about 2 o'clock, and I've sat about as long as I can sit today. It's such a beautiful day. This is where I get antsy and think of all the things that I could be doing to get done before winter. But I haven't seen a deer all morning. All right, I will get you guys later. Well, nada so far. But as every year, there's plenty of shooting around me, and I swear, sometimes I swear they're on my land shooting. That sounds that close, so I don't know where they're coming from or where they're at, but figured I'd come in and get some lunch. Warmed up a little bit out there, but of course when you're just sitting still, it's really hard to generate heat, so my toes are frozen. And I didn't bring winter boots, which I don't know why I didn't do that, but I thought it was going to be nicer. But yeah, that's the way it goes. So I think I'm just going to make a sandwich quick, and then I think I'm going to head out to the lease land this afternoon and maybe sit out there. I haven't seen a deer yet this morning, so yeah, I'm totally going to go to the lease land for sure. Okay, I just got a shot. About 100 yards. I had to go back to the truck to get my flashlight because it's going to get dark here pretty soon. I don't know if I got a hit or not. It was walking towards the big pine tree on the edge of a big ridge. And I shot. And then I didn't see it, so I don't know if it dropped or if it ran behind the tree. It was kind of a hurried shot. I didn't have much time. I should be good though, I should be good. Alright, I'll put the camera away in. I'll let you know when I know something. I got to the truck, got my flashlight, went back, couldn't find any blood. And about 3 minutes later I heard boom from the guy that was hunting down from me, so. Well, I'm assuming he got him. So I'll give you the rundown of what happened today and then what transpired right at the end of the day when I took the shot at the deer. That whole drama. So in the morning, we hunted my property and never saw a deer. So the afternoon, I decided I was going to go out to the lease land. There's a cutover area, is the edge of the lease land, and then it's national forest land on the other side. So I've shot deer there before, and generally they'll kind of go across and it's a good clear spot to get a shot. Anyway, this morning I didn't see anything, so I went to the lease land, and when I pulled into where I park, I'm like looking down the cutover and I'm like, I think that's a deer there. And just as I pulled in, there goes the doe bounding away. So she was maybe 50 yards from where I parked the truck. So that was a good sign. So I got out, sat in one place for a while, didn't really have much action, changed spots, was still on the cutover. And it was just getting to be that time of night where you maybe got like 15 minutes of shooting left. And I was looking down the cutover, and in a place that I know to be about 100 yards, because I've shot a deer there exactly in that place before, and I measured it and it was 104 yards. I saw a deer. The deer was looking straight at me, and to its side was a big pine tree, so there's like big thick pine boughs. But I saw the deer kind of poking around, sniffing, and it was facing me, so I couldn't get a shot. I had time to turn the magnification up on my scope, turn off my lighted reticle, and then finally the deer turns, and just, it was so close to those pine boughs that just as it turns, its neck and head are now behind the pine boughs. But as it turns, I get a nice quartering broadside shot, and I'm ready. I've even got my rifle balanced on a tree limb, so I'm nice and steady. Good crosshairs, pull the trigger, and of course when you flinch and close your eyes when the rifle goes off, as soon as I look again, the deer is gone. So I don't know if the deer dropped. I don't know if the deer jumped over the ridge and is laying there, or I don't know if the deer is, ran 20 yards into the woods and dropped, or I don't know if I missed. Or I don't know if maybe I had a horrible shot. So either way, I need to go back to the van, which is maybe 100, maybe 50 yards from where I'm at, to grab my flashlight, because I know that by the time I give it time to rest, if I have to blood trail it, it's going to be dark. I need the flashlight. So as I'm walking back to where I took the shot, I hear bam, another shot. So maybe about 2 city blocks from this cutover onto the national forest land, there's a guy that hunts there, and he has a stand. He hunts there every year. I know he's there, so I never cross that border of the cutover. Just out of respect, I stay on the lease land and on the cutover. He stays on National Forest land. It works out well. So my two thoughts are either A, I wounded the deer and he did the coup de grace, the finishing shot, or I completely missed the deer and he got it, or 3, the deer went booking by him, he took a pot shot and missed as well. Either way, at this point I need resolution to this shot, right? So I go to where the deer was standing and I'm looking for blood and I don't find anything. So I spend probably a half hour just working a grid pattern back and forth with my flashlight, looking for any speck of blood. I go into the woods in the direction he was headed. I look there for a deer. I look for any more blood. Nothing. So at this point, I feel like I missed the deer, or it was a shot that just didn't bleed right away. Sometimes, you shoot them depending on where it goes, but I'm shooting a 308 and there should be blood. So anyway, so I walk back to the truck and I decide that I'm going to go down the road to where this guy parks to get to his stand and just talk to him and say, hey, did you get the deer? Was there more than one wound in it? Was there more than one shot in it, or what was the status? So as I'm pulling onto the road, I can see his tail lights. He's already gone. So I walk up to where he parks and I look on the ground, and sure enough, there's blood trail on the ground. So he obviously got a deer, drug it out. And like I said, I spent probably at least a half hour, maybe more, looking for blood. So after he shot, so he easily could have gutted it, drug it out. Anyway, clearly there was blood trail. So my impression is he got the deer in the end. Whether I hit it, it clearly wasn't a lethal shot and it had ran by him, or whether I missed. Either way, I have a resolution to my shot, which makes me feel good, because otherwise I'd still be out there running grid patterns looking for a piece of blood. So ironically, I get back to the shack and I had this thought, I have this UV light and I bought it for finding cool rocks. If you've ever heard of Uper lights, they are rocks that fluoresce under ultraviolet light, and they're found on Lake Superior, and people up in the UP of Michigan, in the Upers, they go out and look for them, and so they call them Uper lights. Anyway, so I bought a UV light last year just to look for cool stuff in the dark, and I'd always heard that you can use these for blood trails. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back to where the guy drug the deer out and where I saw the blood trail. And I'm going to see if UV light has any bearing or makes any difference on blood at all. Because if it does, that would be a great tool for trailing or blood tracking. So anyway, we're going to try that in a little bit. So hope you guys come along. Yeah, so tomorrow morning, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going right to the cutover. And we're going to hunt that right from the morning. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll connect. So anyway, catch you guys in a bit. Can one of these UV flashlights light up a blood trail to help you find your wounded animal? We're going to find out. Let's go. All right, so here we have a fresh blood trail from a few hours ago. And we're going to see what it looks like under an ultraviolet light. Absolutely nothing. If you look really, really close, you can see that the blood shows up as purple. But only when I have the flashlight within about 2 inches of the blood can I see it at all. So my verdict? No, it will not help you blood trail an animal. Don't waste your money on buying a UV light to use as a blood trailing tool. All right, wish me luck. This is the morning of day 2 of first weekend. We're in a full moon right now, or really close to it, which does not bode well for us because the deer run all night in the light woods. But I woke up last night to the rain pounding on the steel roof, which was good for 2 reasons. Number one, it meant that there was a lot of cloud cover last night and it was much darker, so maybe stuff didn't move as much last night. And number two, if it was raining all night, maybe stuff bedded down a little bit. The hard part today will be the woods will be super quiet because all the leaves will be wet, which is good for me, but bad for the fact that I'm always going to have to be looking today because they're going to just silently appear. I won't hear that crunch, crunch, crunch of the leaves. All right, River said he's going to come with today, so he's going to be in the van. It's the other good thing about it raining is that with the cloud cover, it's 40 degrees this morning. It was 20 yesterday. So River's going to sit in the van for the morning hunt. That's what he wanted to do. It's a long story, just whatever. Anyway, separation anxiety or something, I don't know. But anyway, so we're going to head out and hopefully get to our stand or get to our sit before half hour before light. So we'll catch you guys hopefully with some good news. Starting to snow flurry. It's so quiet, I figured I'd walk a little bit just to see if I can push something up. This is why I want to cut some of those big bobble from away from the cabin. Just too much of a liability. I think I've only used this microwave once, and that was to test the Blue Eddy. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see what all those red lights are, but hoping that's the right button. Feels like there's a front coming in. The wind has picked up and starting to snow flurry, but I can't say anything is really moving much more. But walked for a bit and decided to try the blind for a while. I hadn't been here yet, and let's do the round robin on the stands and see which ones have any action. So far, none. Haven't heard any shooting either, so it's weird. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the road. It's just after 1 o'clock and it's kind of snow flurrying. It's super windy. Haven't seen a deer all day. I just really feel like they're kind of tucked in today with the wind and the weather change. So I am going to be up here in 3 more days, so there's no sense trying to kill myself the first weekend. In a couple days, my son Hunter is going to be up with me, and we're going to hunt for a few days together, and hopefully we'll hook up there. Thanks for hanging out with us, and as always, we will see you soon. Goodbye, tiny cabin. The next time we come up, we will have the countertops installed, and it will be a completely new look in here. I'm really excited to see the change. For those who think I was a little soft for going home early because it was too windy, take a look at this.